Hi guys, and welcome to your daily tarot reading for Saturday the 11th of March. I never know what this deck is called, so if you know the name of this deck, please let me know in the comments. It's really beautiful. I keep a lot of my decks where I don't have the cover in like little pouches, so they all look, the same. And this deck really needs like a beautiful cover to do it justice. The artwork is gorgeous. Okay. Right, so I'm going to shuffle these cards a few times. Then I'm going to choose 3 cards to see what the tarot wants you to be aware of here on Saturday the 11th and what energy you'll be working with. Okay, so the first card is the Princess of Cups, which is kind of like the Knight of Cups. Then we have the Ten of Swords, which is kind of like rock bottom. And finally, the Ace of Wands. Wow, okay. So with these 2 cards, the message I'm getting is that one of your hopes and dreams, something happens that makes you feel like, okay, this didn't work out. So, one of your hopes is dashed. So it seems like a disappointment by these 2 cards. But that disappointment, and this is the kind of thing where I always bristle a bit because blessings in disguise and stuff, I prefer blessings that aren't in disguise. Straight up blessings are much better. But through the difficulties and the hardship, something emerges from within you, some sort of sense of, do you know what, this has happened and I'm going to do this as a result because it will prove to myself that I'm invested in my life, my happiness, and that I'm going to continue to seek this good thing that I'm after. So it's almost this sense of, I'll show you, Okay, so the Princess of Cups is a court card, and the court cards either appear as qualities or people. And the Princess of Cups is someone who's a dreamer. She is kind of looking at this cup and it's beautiful and it just seems like a dream. Then we've got these kind of flying fish moving towards it and turning into a dove. So it's this promise of, I'm going to feel everything that I have within me, this sense of happiness. But it's problematic because she's pursuing something, right? So I want something in myself, I want to experience something, so I have to go out there and get it. And the reality is that this cup, this chalice, it already lives within her. I mean, she doesn't look like she's particularly lacking or having a tough time, but this is just so glorious and beautiful, and it exists outside of her. It's almost like I have to chase this thing which exists in the world or in the realms of spirit or in particular places in the physical world. And the message here is really that this thing is something that you have access to all the time, and all you need to do to connect with it is to have some sort of a spiritual practice that makes you feel like this gap is being bridged. I'm able to connect, I feel the love. And that's when she realizes that it's an inner process, that's when she becomes the Queen of Cups and she's in charge of the element. It's the irony that, I feel something's missing, and obviously that then propels me on this journey of trying to discover, and the reality is you're meant to go inward. The Ten of Swords is really hitting rock bottom in the sense of usually it's someone lying face down in the snow and 10 swords stuck in their back. And swords have to do with communication, ideas, perspectives, decisions. So it's something from the outer world that's affecting you, and it feels like, wow, this is built up to the point where I have no control over it. I'm disappointed, and more than disappointed, I'm really, okay, this is the end. I've lost the fight. It's a minor arcana card, so it's a temporary influence, and it's the highest card in the suit of, in all the minor arcana suits. It goes from the ace card, so 1, 2, 3, all the way up to 10. So by the time we get to 10, we have a lot of this energy. And swords, even though in this case, it feels like, wow, things are piling up, Swords is communication and ideas and your ability to learn and teach and to work with information. What I thought initially and what I continue to think is that there may be some sort of sense of I'm disappointed here, right? But the other thing is there's an opportunity to stop and to learn. And I really think it's this. It's an inner process of understanding, do you know what? I am going to stop searching for my happiness out in the world or by going on trips every few weeks and running around. I'm going to settle and stop for a second, and I'm going to look at my heart. And that then is a much more complicated process, because if I think, the thing that's going to make me happy is, a hut on the beach in Thailand, then that's a real thing I can focus on, and I can fly there and I can look at the different huts, etc., right? But going within and saying, where's my happiness at? You're not just faced with yourself, you're faced with all these existential questions, and you're faced with your own history and your own disappointments and pain and stuff. I don't know about you guys, but that's not something I love to do all the time. I really don't want to dig around in the wound. And we all know that sometimes we do have to particularly pull something out of the wound that will prevent it from healing properly. So there's a real chance here, and it may be a disappointment, or it may be just a moment of inner stillness where you're like, hey, I've stopped here for a second, and I realize that I don't actually have anything to be afraid of, that there isn't some sort of vacuum that's sucking on my soul every second, and that it's okay to just be me. At the end of the day, this lotus flower looks beautiful and gorgeous and stuff, the flowers surrounding the cup, I mean, but I don't know. I think the best things, I don't know. Internally, I think just being okay with yourself and feeling content and like, I'm glad I'm this person. I'm glad I'm me. That simple truth I would draw as this. So I suppose you may have a different desire internally. You may want to feel not content or at peace or in love, or you may want to change something or attain new heights. Whatever the dream is, you'll realize that you already embody it to a certain degree because it exists in you. So it's already a part of you. In spiritual truth, it's there. Finally, we've got the Ace of Wands. The Ace of Wands is the first card in the Minor Arcana. So we've got cycles here. We've got the top and the bottom. And the Ace card, 1 being the first, is new, it's pioneering. And the Ace of Wands is a blessing from the universe that says, hey, here's your passion. This is what makes your life feel meaningful and purposeful. So as a result of this process, you're able to attain the Ace of Wands as such, and you're able to not just set new goals, but feel an inner drive that says, this is your purpose, please pursue it. And it's very different than this, because this is about, I want something that exists in a physical sense, and it's a symbol for my happiness, or I feel this thing is going to make me happy. So it's acquiring, it's chasing after something, and that usually makes things disappear. The Ace of Wands is, I'm complete in myself, and this is something I want to do because it's fun and it's meaningful and I'm making a contribution and it gives me a thrill and it puts me on the stage or it connects me to other people, again, whatever it may be. But it doesn't come from a place of lack. It comes from a place of, I'm so into this, I want to experience it. Okay, so number-wise, we've got the Court card, which is 1. 1 and 10 is 11, and another 1 is 12. 1 and 2 is 3, and 3 in numerology is communication and new beginnings. So again, that is very much about pioneering something, starting a new adventure, but really feeling compelled to go on a new adventure because it's just, the energy is driving you towards that. Rather than saying, I have to go on this trip because, yeah. Okay, so I hope that gives you an idea of what you'll be working with here. If you would like a personal reading with me, please get in touch via my website. It's gregoryscott.com. On the front page, scroll down a little bit until you get to the button that says book your reading. Click on that to order your reading with me. And if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, hit subscribe and share the video online. Have a fabulous day and I'll speak to you tomorrow.